How to know the right amounts of push-pull. Really, the only way you're really going to learn how to calibrate push-pull is by going out in the field and overdoing it. Most guys don't push hard enough, or don't. The whole, by the way, just as like a definition thing, push and pull. I have no idea which one's push and which one's pull. Is it pulling away? Is taking away your attention and pushing in is giving your attention, or is pushing her away and pulling her in? I don't know. For this discussion, we're gonna say that pushing her away and pulling her in. All right, we'll say that for now. Okay. So we'll say that a negative expression is a push. You can define it either way. I've heard it done both ways, but just for clarity. Most guys don't push hard enough. Most guys do not give the girl enough negative expression. That's the most common mistake that I see over and over again. Most guys don't find out what they can get away with. If this is like a typical interaction and this is what you could get away with, most guys are like here, right? They're nowhere near it. They never cross the line. They never take high risks. You need to be like here, all right? You should be here. If you aren't occasionally pissing a girl off, you're doing something wrong. If you aren't occasionally getting a girl like yelling and screaming at you, or getting really angry at you, or getting upset sort of like illogically here and there, you're not playing hard enough. Because the goal of game is not to have a lot of girls kind of like you a little bit. It's to have a few girls think you walk on water. That's a phrase I got from Derek. He said, I don't care if I talk to 20 girls and 19 of them hate me, as long as number 20 thinks I walk on water. And that is the right way to look at it. The right way to look at it is you have to be loved. You have to make a strong impression first, and then let that impression be positive or negative. Ideally, make a strong impression by being fully yourself, by just saying the things you want to say without censoring them. But if the things you want to say are too sweet and nice and soft, you may not be doing enough to get on the girl's radar. So in that case, you may benefit, not that you couldn't get results by being that normal personality, etc. from time to time, but you will benefit in terms of percentages and in terms of how hard you hook girls by pushing the limits a little bit, finding out what you can get away with, and just pushing a little harder. And now, one quick sort of like word of caution, word of explanation on that. When I say push harder or that kind of stuff, like push the girl away harder, that may sound really like over technical, over like manipulative, that kind of stuff. And in a way it kind of is, because you are doing something specifically to get a result. Now, on the other hand, every time you interact with anyone ever, you're probably doing something to get a result, right? Every time a baby cries, he's doing it to get fed, or get his diaper taken, or something like that, right? So that's normal human like inclination. Everything's manipulative, etc. But specifically, a lot of guys have this issue with like, oh, I don't want to be mean to the girl just to be mean to her. I don't want to be mean to her just to push a button or get a result. Well, that's one way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at it is your job is to give her a range of experiences. Your job is to make the interaction exciting for her and make it good for her. Your job is to give her that drama and foreplay and make the sex good. Your job is to set it up so that when you do have sex, she feels like she won you over and it makes the sex better. So rather than looking at it as something that you're doing to the girl, try to actually look at it as something you're doing for the girl. Like, flirtation should be a mutually fun experience. And if you've ever seen the look on a girl's face right after you've given her that hard push, like the crazy attracted smile she gets, you should have no doubt that she actually is enjoying it. And that is why she responds so well to it. It's like she may not like the particular expression, but she loves the emotional relevance of meeting a man who's willing to stand up to her, who's willing to be a man around her, who's willing to give her that emotional ride. So be very aware of that with respect to push-pull. But my advice for learning how to calibrate push-pull and learning how far to take it is you have to mess up. You have to overdo it from time to time. So when you have situations where it's safe to do so, go ahead and over-exaggerate. Go ahead and find out what you can get away with. The other thing to be careful of, by the way, is if you do this only on throwaway sets, like you do it only on like unattractive girls, you're not going to think you can push nearly as hard as you can, because girls who have less confidence can take a lot less of push-pull than girls who are very confident. A lot of times a girl who's like, has some of her own personal issues or isn't really like secure, if you give her like one little push away, she'll like break down in tears or she'll snap. Whereas a lot of times the hottest girls actually just love it, and you can have a lot more of that in the interaction. You have almost a whole interaction with just teasing them mercilessly. So be aware of that when you're learning as well. that it's not like there's a certain amount for every girl. So you want to calibrate to the situation as well. But in general, the only way you're going to learn is by overdoing it sometimes. So get out there and start pushing the boundaries just a bit more than you already are. And yeah, it'll take some time, but you'll get it.